About time to get started. 2 o'clock. We get rolling here. One minor change we have is that item 4 is going to be moved to a little bit later because Chief Powell is tied up at another meeting. So with that said, item number 1, consider approval of August 28th Finance Committee minutes. Tamara, anything in the committee minutes of any concern?
No, sir. Everything is as reported.
Okay. Motion?
I move that we accept the minutes as presented.
All right.
Second.
All in favor? Very good. Item number 2, consider recommending that the Board of Commissioners approve the facility use agreement with Aquatic Facility Training and Consultants to offer a certified pool/spa operations certification course in Casino Room 114, May 2019, and authorize waiving the facility rental fee in exchange for allowing 2 Rec and Parks employees to attend the course at no charge. Ms. Lisa.
Yes, sir. Well, pretty much what you said. We'd like to enter into a formal agreement with Aquatic Facility Training and Consultants to offer this course. It's a nationally recognized course. It will be an opportunity for us to get 2 more employees certified as certified pool and spa operators. This is something that the county and the department has done previously, but I think maybe what's been done is it hasn't necessarily gone through the formal process with you guys. So we want to make sure we're following the right processes.
Well, that's good. We appreciate that. What's the rental fee we're waiving?
It would be about $300 for what they're doing.
And how long is the course?
It's a 2-day course.
Okay. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, ma'am. Not going anywhere, I guess.
Not quite.
3, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize a fee waiver in the amount of $400 for the use of the Selden Park Gymnasium, January 21, 2019, by the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Commemoration Committee for their annual event celebrating Dr. King's contributions to the civil rights movement and to provide a Parks and Recreation employment using 6 hours of holiday overtime. Ms. Lisa.
Yes, sir. This is an annual event that this committee puts on MLK Day, which is January 21st, 2019. They've asked to waive the rental fee for their organization to have this event. It is open to the public, and I do believe they're partnering with the Longshoremen's Association to offer this event.
Food.
Yes, food for the community.
And is this a precedent? We've done it in the past?
Yes, sir, we have.
Any questions, comments?
Offer motion we approve the waiver, the fee for Dr. King's birthday celebration.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, ma'am. As I said earlier, 4 is going to go down to 17. 5, consider Board of Commissioners declare the unusable items listed on the attached page as surplus and approve disposing of these items in the best interest of the county. Ms. Tamara.
We have 6 vehicles that have been recommended by the fleet department to dispose of. These are all high mileage vehicles that are older years, and I don't see anything concerning if you have no questions.
Sure. And we auction them off? Is that what we're, or do we?
Yes. So we put them on a public auction website, and people can go out and bid on them.
And there's a minimum bid, reserve fee? Okay.
Yes.
Questions?
I just had a quick question. Do we ever donate them to causes that help further things that we're doing? For instance, community service. I've noticed when the community service person, it seems like they're in a pretty old vehicle monitoring the people. So do we look at that before we put them on auction, or?
We haven't since I've been here.
We do, though.
Dave
We give them to the school board.
Mr. Austin, you want to come on up here and give us your perspective? Are these worthwhile vehicles that we would want to donate to somebody, or tell us what you think?
These we should sell off. We do go through the vehicles that are returned back to us from the sheriff's office or the police department to rotate through community service. The last 2 inmate vans that we used to use for inmates are now used for community service and also backup inmate vans. The Crown Vics, we have 3 or 4 Crown Vics that we use at Public Works, and we have a couple other ones that we use in the county.
So your eye is out for the better vehicles to use them?
Oh yeah, they're always flushing them down.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But
Motion to approve.
Very good.
Thank you.
All in favor? Unanimous. 6, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize the Parks and Recreation Department to advertise a public hearing to consider the following. A, to implement changes to the ball field rental agreement, tournament, event/tournament form, including adjusting the tournament workers' fees to $25 an hour to provide improved operational efficiency and effectiveness in providing county services for non-county athletic tournaments with an effective date of January 1, 2019. And B, approve an increase to the Parks and Recreation's FY 2019 revenue and expenditure budgets of $10,000 each to account for increased fees and expenditures for county employees working athletic events between January 1 and June 30, 2019. Ms. Lisa.
Okay. Yes, sir, we would like to hold a public hearing to get the approval to increase the staff fees primarily for the tournaments that we're having at the park. Over the last year, we've seen certainly a pretty large increase in the number of events that we have. Currently, the folks that work these tournaments for the non-county entities volunteer, if you will, to be out there, and it's getting tougher and tougher to get staff members to volunteer and be paid directly cash, $13 an hour for that. They are using county equipment. They're out there representing the county. What we propose to do in just making this change is to increase the fee to $25 an hour that would be payable by the tournament directly to the county instead of to the employee that's out there working. What this would do is this would allow us to schedule the employees as part of their regular work week. It would make them eligible for overtime, but that overtime would be accounted for in that $25 in that increase. That's why it's such a large increase. This would also help us hold the employees to be accountable to get the job duties done during the tournament, and it would also allow them the opportunity to be covered by workers' comp if they were injured on the job while they were working, which is something they're not covered by now when they're working out there. You're working directly for the tournament organizer. We would also like to just make a few other changes on the tournament rental form that we would work with the county attorneys to make sure that it was in line with any county ordinances and policies and processes. And once the fees, if the fees get approved to be increased, we would then work with the county attorney and would start using the new form. I don't think this is going to drive tournament organizers away because they're paying $100 for the fields for the entire day, and a day is not 8 to 5. A day is really 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. So it's a really good price for them. So you're really only talking about a $12 an hour increase. Usually we have one worker per 4 fields. So you may be talking about maybe a $120 increase per day per complex for the tournament organizer. And I don't think it's going to drive them away if we were to do this. So we're asking to bring this forward as a public hearing item. And the reason for the delay to November 1st is because obviously we'll have to advertise the public hearing 10 days ahead of time. Plus, I'm going to be on some vacation in the middle of October, and just the timing of it, we felt like November 1st would be a good time to bring that forward.
Okay. Tell us how you arrived at increasing your budget by the revenue expenditure of $10,000 for the increased fees. I'm not sure how you arrived at that.
What I did is I looked at the number of events that we had this year and what that payout to, and the number of hours that the employees have worked this year, and extrapolated that and moved that forward to the new year.
Based on the increased hourly fee?
Yes, sir. The $10,000 is the increase with the increased fee, and that's just for half of the year. But obviously, if we don't bring those revenues in
Right.
from tournaments, we won't be expending
Right.
those funds.
So basically, you're not expending county funds,
No,
you're
sir.
just accounting for it by your anticipated increased revenues from your events.
Exactly.
Questions?
Well, we don't want the county to be out of any
Good.
funds for
Right,
non-county.
we got it. It's a good plan.
Are there any, the tournaments, are any held at Howard Coffin Park?
None of them are held at Howard Coffin right now, but we do have one that's coming up in 19 that we've been looking at possibly having, using 2 fields down there. One of the issues with Howard Coffin is the lights. There's not lights out there, so a lot of these events do want to play into the evening, so sometimes that stifles them for
When
using.
did they not have the lights on?
Some of the lights have not been working since Irma.
Okay, and
Steve's been working with the city on that.
this long? Oh no, that's unacceptable.
And whose responsibility is that? The city?
It's the city, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the cities to maintain, I'm assuming it's over $500.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Other questions?
No, motion to approve.
second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice. Number 7, consider recommend the Board of Commissioners adopt the proposed FY 1920 budget calendar as presented by the budget team. Ms. Miller.
I'm all for it.
What's the budget
Yeah,
calendar?
exactly, you're gonna be around.
Sorry?
What's the calendar? Let me see it. I didn't click on that report.
No worries.
Just all the dates for the first 6
Yeah, I
months,
think
huh?
it's good.
So it's in line with how the budget calendar was last year. We usually move it by a day or two according to how the calendar falls. And it's just time to go through it all again.
And basically, you're proposing that the BOC meets and adopts the budget for next year by June 20th.
Correct.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Can Commissioner Booker have this?
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Number 8, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept a grant contract and awarded funding for the Georgia DNR for the Coastal Incentive Grant Cycle 21 for $45,000. Authorize the chair to sign the grant contract. Authorize staff to implement the shoreline protection implementation plan's first-year objectives, which include the creation of a shoreline assessment and resiliency plan, and to increase the Glynn County Emergency Management Agency FY19 revenue and expenditures budget by $45,000. Ms. Monica.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Glynn County was awarded the Coastal Incentive Grant Cycle 21, and this is the scope of the project is 2 years, but they divided into individual ones. So for the first year, we're going to get $45,000, and so based on your approval today, it'll keep moving along the process, and it'll help create a shoreline assessment and develop a resiliency plan, and Mr. Jay Wiggins, our EMA director, will be leading this effort.
And my understanding is that the total grant that we were awarded was $90,000.
Correct.
So the expectation is next year the Finance Committee will probably be approving the other $45,000.
That is correct, and that's the way DNR handles
Great.
coastal incentives.
Sure.
He's correct.
Questions?
Offer a motion to approve.
Second.
Grant agreement.
All in favor? Excellent. Number 9, consider recommending the Board of, thank you, Monica. Are you sticking around?
I'll stay for number 10 if you.
Okay, sure. 9, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve an increase in revenues and expenditure of $2.5 million each in the Capital Projects Fund for the One Georgia Authority reimbursement grant to be used for beach restoration activities. Mara.
So you all approved for us to apply for this grant a few weeks ago on September 6th. And so at that time, we just failed to put the increase to the budget in the memo. So we're coming back to you to increase the budget for the grant amount that we have been awarded.
So when I look at the budget and hear about the budget and hear about the increases in our budget, where is this going to be itemized in our budget?
So this will be in the Capital Projects Fund.
Okay.
And the revenue will offset the
Obviously,
expenditure.
but as we get all these lovely grants that Monica helps us, it looks like our overall budget,
Correct.
all expenditures are growing and growing and growing, but this is all gifted money.
Exactly.
And I think that point needs to be made frequently, when we talk about the budget and the increases in budget. So anyway, that's just an aside. Any questions about this?
And this is from the One Georgia Authority?
Yes, so that,
Started with the
This is
governor.
the
The governor set it
governor,
aside
$10
as a
million.
special
Oh,
appropriation.
okay.
Yeah,
The
this
money
is
we
that
talked
$10
about.
Yeah.
$10
Okay.
million,
All right.
You
of
were
which
there.
Jeff
You were there.
got 2.5.
Somehow they absconded with half of our grant.
Half of our
but
grant.
I have just
Okay.
let that go.
Yeah,
Any motions?
I'll offer a motion we accept.
second.
All in favor? Thank you. Number 10, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept the contract and awarded funding of the Pet Smart Charities for $11,900, increase Animal Control's FY19 revenue and expenditures budget by $11,900 each, and authorize the chairman to sign the contract pending final approval from the county attorney. Ms. Monica.
We applied for funding from the PetSmart Charities. Very happy we were awarded a couple weeks back. It's $11,900, and it'll go to do microchips, free microchip services
Great.
at 3 major events that Ms. Tiffany Hill will be planning, and I will be doing that with her as well. So I'm super excited.
Yeah.
And I think that'll help the return to owner rates, and particularly we're a coastal community exposed to, hopefully never again, but future weather hazards. So
Right.
we want to make sure that we reunite the animals. So,
It's just for microchipping?
yes, sir.
We reunite the animals.
Correct. So sometimes when we evacuate, the animals are left
Oh,
behind.
okay.
And, you know, if captured, then we don't know who that dog, cat might belong to.
Okay.
So that comes in handy, having that microchip in place.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Very good.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, property appraisal items. Mr. Ron, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the real and personal property corrections and exemptions as recommended by the Board of Assessors and the Chief Appraiser from their July 26 meeting, with clarification that this does not approve a tax refund.
Yes, sir. Try to answer any questions. These are corrections that were approved by the Board of Assessors at the July 26 meeting.
Anything unusual or controversial?
Just
Square footage type thing,
Yeah, a
acreage?
little more numbers, just because it's after the assessment notice and in between tax bills. Pretty standard.
Questions?
No, I offer a motion and we accept the recommendation.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Thank you. Next one is basically the same. Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the real and personal property corrections and exemptions by the Board of Assessors from their August 9th meeting, with again clarification that this is not a tax refund.
Yeah, correct. These are August 9th meeting, the corrections that were made by the Board of Assessors. Try to answer any questions.
Again, anything controversial or unusual?
No, sir.
Great.
Offer a motion, accept the recommendation.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Again, number 13, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the real and personal property corrections and exemptions from the Board of Assessors September 6th meeting. Again, with clarification that this does not approve a tax refund. Mr. Glynn.
Okay. Redundant, but September 6th, corrections by the Board of Assessors.
Anything unusual or controversial?
Not off
The square footage and measurements and questions?
No. Better not be. That was 3 times in a row. I offer a motion, we accept the recommendation.
All in
Second.
favor?
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you. Number 14, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the ESRI software maintenance agreement in the amount of $51,500. Funding come from the fiscal year 19 GIS operating budget. Mr. John.
Right. This is basically continuing the licensing for our software that we use for GIS. Excuse me.
We've approved this before. It's sort of a rolling
Yeah,
contract.
this is second year of 3-year contract.
Right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? 15, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the search agreement with Tyler Technologies.
Right. It's called Research,
Okay?
and basically it's the electronic method for people to go in and get the case information from the court system. They're now beginning to require e-filing, and this is the second one. You file it, and then you have to go get it and look it up. Excuse me, I'm choking up here.
No, we choked.
Didn't know this was such an emotional issue.
Yeah, I'm having a terrible time.
Yeah, I'm getting a little choked up too now. Terrible.
I got another pepper. But this will be used by citizens and attorneys, and I guess complainants, I'm not sure the term, to go get the information as it's filed. And there is a charge for that. I believe it's 75 cents per page, and then there's a fee.
Okay.
Associated with it.
So it's just a continued move to make all the records electronic and easier access. Questions?
Offer motion.
Second.
All in favor? Very good. Okay, where are we? CR 16. Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the Year 2 payment to Dell for Microsoft Enterprise Agreement renewal for $196,251.96, funding from the fiscal year 19 Information Technology Operating Budget.
Okay. This is the year 2 payment for the Microsoft software. We just went to 365 and email. Y'all are well familiar with that. That has been done successfully. I think even Richard can get his.
I don't know about how successfully
He's
it
your
went,
test
but-
case. If he can do it, anyone can do
Yeah.
it.
Well, I don't know, I just tried to get into mine, and it kept taking me to another email with Morningstar
Okay.
for some reason.
I don't know, we can look at it, fix that. We had about 800 users that we moved over, and they are,
But I get it on my phone fine, but I'm
Okay.
going in on the computer.
so basically this is for that software, Office.
How many years we paying this over?
This is the second of a 3-year agreement, and we'll do it again.
Okay.
We'll come back on this. I don't anticipate this to end. So,
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Very good. Thank you.
So item number 17 will need to delay as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, we hope the chief shows up sometime today.
Okay, we'll jump over to 18. Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners issue a purchase order to Georgia Correctional Industries for $38,875.30 to refinish the metal library shelving for Brunswick Library renovation with funding from the Capital Outlay Grant from Georgia Public Library Service and the Glynn County FY19 capital budgeted debt for the library renovations. Ms. Jerry Lynn.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, so we get to utilize Georgia Correctional Industries as part of the Department of Corrections. They have a metalworking and powder coating plant, I guess you'd call it, at Walker State Prison. And so instead of purchasing new shelving, we can get our shelving cut to the appropriate heights, re-welded, and powder coated. So we are saving about 76%, I believe it is, instead of buying new.
Sounds like a great plan. Questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? 19, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners issue a purchase order to David Edward for $92,389.75 to restore and refinish the reader tables, chairs, end panels, and recreate matching new end panels for the Brunswick Library renovation, funding from Capital Outlay Grant from the Georgia Public Library Service and Glynn County FY19 budgeted debt. Yes, ma'am.
So as you know, we have a very tight budget. So, and I found out, so David Edward is a furniture company that's been around for a long time. And our reader tables, chairs, and end panels are all actual designer pieces.
Wow.
Who would have known
Impressive,
from the
yeah.
70s? And they are still like, the tables and chairs are black walnut. So it's better furniture than we could afford new now. But what David Edward is able to do, since these are designer pieces, is we can ship them back to him or to the company and get them not only refinished but restored. So there are several pieces that are, the arms are kind of broken on some of the armchairs, some of the legs are. So what they'll do is they'll actually replace those pieces of wood. And then they'll also, because they are a commercial furniture company, they will be testing all the pieces to ensure that they can have enough durability to make it another 40 years.
Wow. How many pieces all told do you think you have? You know,
Oh
a
my
lot?
gosh,
A
there's
lot?
a ton.
Good.
We have like, I think we counted up, there's 96 chairs
Wow.
that we can refinish or redo, and then I think there's like 15 or 16 tables. We've got 50, I think 50 end panels, and we need to double that. So what they're going to be able to do too is take parts of our end panels and make sure that everything matches. So it's,
Good deal.
but in the end, even though doing all of this and doing our due diligence, it still saves us
Right.
about 30.
Right.
6%.
Yeah, for.
Motion
for-
to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you for doing that. That's
Yeah,
great. Good
good
plan.
deal.
Good
Thank
plan.
you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Number 20, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners authorize staff to issue an RFP to define the scope of work for St. Simon's beach restoration and solicit a construction contract with the funding from State of Georgia Department of Community Affairs, One Georgia Authority, one-time grant in the amount of $2.5 million. Mr. David Austin.
So, sir, this is the authority for us to send out an RFP to define what we want to do out there, and then also give us authority to solicit for a construction contract, and we'd be back to you depending on the bids.
So we really don't even know right now yet what's needed to be done, correct?
We don't know what we want to do, and we don't really know where we want to do it.
Right.
So we need to hire some smart folks to come in here and give us.
Tell me
some
how
ideas.
you think this might tie in with item number, back with the, where is that? With the coastal incentive grant of $45,000 where we're getting.
Item number 8.
Item number 8, where we're getting somebody to come in and implement a shoreline protection grant to do a shoreline assessment and resiliency plan. We can have 2 different groups assessing our shoreline resiliency and our needs, and how do the 2 tie together in your mind?
It's a great question, isn't it, Dave?
That is a good question.
No, he said a great question.
It is a great question.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you. But it doesn't help me so far. That's all right.
Hopefully, it's a hand-in-glove operation.
Yeah,
I mean, hopefully
yeah.
I mean, they'll definitely be coordinated, and we will definitely work together with them.
It would seem to me that would make a
It would
lot of
make a lot of
sense.
sense to do one and then do the other. However, the 2.5 million is on a certain timeline.
Right.
So.
Well, just like you said,
I mean,
hopefully these 2 groups will work together.
Yeah, but the other thing is, the 2.5 million is not going to solve all our problems. So it's just going to be, I think it's going to be part of helping out, but there's probably going to be a lot more stuff that these folks recommend.
Right.
That may need money down the road.
Right.
Okay.
So.
But hopefully the big ticket items that are just glaring, glaring need of restoration or refurbishment or shoring up, we can tackle those with $2.5 million. We'll see.
A certain distance.
Yeah.
Motion
Okay,
to
sorry to
approve.
ask a great question, but I appreciate you coming.
It's a great question.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Yeah, good. All right, you still up here?
Yes, sir.
21, consider recommended Board of Commissioners approve the use of $14,396.40 from the FY18 Capital Projects Fund expenditure budget to pay for user-requested changes in the Tax Commissioner's Office renovation project. Yes, sir.
So we're undergoing phase 1 construction down there, and during the phase 1 construction, Tax Commissioner had some changes that he wanted to do that were not in the phase 1 budget. And so that's what these are.
This thing's still gonna come in at $300,000, or is it
So-
gonna be over?
So what we have is that's a great question.
That's a good question. Let's not get over,
So we think we have a certain amount of money left, $179,000 new doors that open out to the hallway. And the other are the teller stations, moving the teller stations, teller's not the right word, but the stations, moving them forward and going from 6 stations to 8 stations. So we had a meeting with purchasing and finance, and we plan to bid those 2 items out. And hopefully they will come in under. If they're not, we'll be back to the board to talk about that.
And you're calling this phase 1. How many phases are there?
That was the part I just discussed would be phase 2, phase last.
And what's your timeline?
Well, we have all that designed, we just have to get it to purchasing to get it out on the street. So it's going to be, we'll probably be here 2 finance meetings from now.
Okay.
With a proposal,
Okay.
a bid.
Further questions?
For motion that we, what are we doing here?
We're going to
Recommend-
approve the expenditure.
Approve
Tax
the
commissioner.
expenditure.
Second.
All in favor? Very good. 22, consider recommended Board of Commissioners reject the bid from Seaboard Construction of Brunswick for the SPLOST 2016 Dirt Road Paving Project in the amount of $383,953.42 and rebid the project.
So this is more than 10% of our SPLOST budget for dirt road paving, and it covers half a mile of road in 6 different locations, mainly on St. Simon's Island. We believe that this price is a little high, and we would like to change the scope of it and rebid it and see if we get a more competitive price.
This is a half mile of roads?
It's a half a mile of road. It's a .8 mile here, or .08 miles
Right.
here, and it's .2 miles there. It's a bunch of little dirt roads on.
So-
I thought some of these dirt roads over the years, especially the ones that, if I recall, that are down in the village, and they're around Mullet Bay. that
These
kind
don't-
of
these
those
aren't
are not those, because they didn't want those paved.
Those we're not touching.
Okay.
The ones that we've talked about, and you and I have talked about this, the people are very interested in getting them paid.
Right.
Where are they? That's,
Maple Street, which is up in Glen Haven, Cindy Trail, Majo Street, which is down
Montgomery.
Benefield.
okay.
I don't know where Hope's at.
So they want more asphalt on the alley?
But hey, what is that?
They want more
These
asphalt?
are sort of dirt roads in front of houses, and they just want to be paved.
I understand that. I'm just saying. And they start jumping on us about other things.
I'm not sure the two are related in any sense at all.
But I agree with you, Commissioner.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes,
that's
sir.
great, I
Yes, sir.
appreciate the love.
Yeah.
Maybe I should ask.
So, are we gonna,
impact stormwater runoff?
We're gonna
Well,
reject
that's a
it.
great question.
All right, does anybody want to reject this bid?
Yeah, motion to reject the bid.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Great job. And I see we've been honored by the presence
Yeah,
of
he
Chief Powell.
finally could
Thank you very
show up
much.
at a business at a
Yes,
meeting.
sir. You're up, sir.
You know, glad you can fit us
we've been
into your
holding-
busy schedule, Chief.
We've been holding our breath.
Yeah.
Item number 4. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners accept the
Yeah.
donation from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms of the 2000 Wells Cargo Utility Trailer. Chief Powell.
Yes, sir, and I apologize.
No,
for-
no, no.
Yeah, right.
We're just teasing.
Yeah, we
Go
were
ahead.
attending another meeting.
Yeah.
This is actually a component of a truck that the board approved earlier. It was part of that package, and,
That Freightliner or whatever it was?
yes, sir. And actually, the finance contacted and said because it was a trailer, we had to bring it back to make sure it was accepted by the board, by the finance committee, and by the board. This is not anything additional, it was part of the component originally that we presented.
So it's basically a donation. Or if Chief wants it, it's,
Motion approved.
there you go.
Second.
All in favor? Great.
Thank you very much.
One more, sir.
Yes,
I think we
Yes,
skipped
sir.
over 17, was it, Tamara?
Yes, item 17.
17, Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the lease with GP Mall LLC for office space in the Glynn Place Mall for use as a police satellite office with funding provided by the FY19 police operating budget, pending approval by the county attorney. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And what this is basically a test project. The mall approached the police department with a good deal on the initial rental, which was $1 a month, plus we have to pay the utilities. And we like to use it at this time of year, starting now until the new FY. And we think it would be ideal because the holiday season's starting. And we want to do a focus on the shopping areas, which would be inclusive of the mall area. But around that shopping area, includes Walmart and the other stores. And we'll have officers work out of the mall so they can be a quicker response and be present on site to address issues that may arise. The thought is initially that we will work the guys with the bike unit that come out of there, provide a better response to the shoppers and also more visibility. Hopefully, we'll keep the bad guys away from the area and let them be aware that we're not going to tolerate them getting out there and getting in trouble.
Looks like it's about 900 square feet. Is that a good size for you guys?
Yes, sir, it is. It also has a front entrance and a back entrance. Front entrance is in the mall. The back entrance is actually can be accessed through the parking lot. You pull into one of the little porticos out in the parking lot. You can park there and come into that office space.
And it's in a location that would be high public awareness that this is there?
Yes, sir. To kind of acclimate you, to let you know where it is, if you're walking towards Sears from inside the mall, the military recruitment areas are on the right-hand side. It's actually in that area, right there where the military recruitment is. We would also like to include the fire department and EMA so they can get information, push it out to the public for the time period that we have it, because we'll be coming into the springtime. This lease will be in the springtime, and we want to make it available for fire and EMA so they can put information out. As you well know, they start in the spring as far as awareness for hurricanes and stuff
Sure.
like that. And this will
Who's going to cover it for Jay?
Probably Alec, to be honest with you.
Okay, that's what I
Yes,
figured.
sir.
Who, when you and I talked about this, you told me $1 a month, and here it says $9 a month. What's that?
Yes, sir. That's actually when the Mr. Andrews, the mall manager, when he sent the original email, is $1 a month, and I think it is still $1 a month. The county attorney is talking to Mr. Andrews to verify that. And then at the end of that lease period, if we choose to renew that lease, then there's a dollar figure on there, and we'll revisit that based on how this performs and see if it's a good plan for the
Well,
department.
like I talked to you about,
Yes, sir.
I just have a problem. They reached out to the police department.
Correct.
They wanted a presence there, and I fully support that.
Yes, sir.
But then, at the end of next year.
Starting July, yes, sir.
Right, then they want $600 a month to, in a lease agreement, and that's
Correct.
where I have a problem. If they want us there, then let them foot the bill for the,
Yes, sir, and the 600 now, like we discussed, that 600 would be inclusive of utilities.
I understand.
Whereas this
I
initially is
understand,
not inclusive of
but
utilities.
it's still, that bothers me, because there's other places around that mall that would love to have that police presence
Yes,
that
sir.
wouldn't charge the police department a dime, and for them to want $600 a month is just, to me, a little ridiculous.
But on the other hand, nobody has made that offer, Chief, for free. As I'm aware, I mean, is this?
This is the only business entity that's come forward on
Right.
making that offer to you. Yes, sir.
I mean, at the end of the day, $600 a month isn't going to bust your budget, will it?
Well, that will be something that we'll address with the new FY.
Right.
And it will be based on performance.
Right.
If we find that it's beneficial for the public as well as the police department. Currently, right now, the lease will not be $600 a month.
Right,
Right.
right.
This
But
will
when
be
it may come
Yes,
up,
sir.
Right.
if you don't think it's worthwhile effort,
Then we don't renew the lease.
excellent.
Yes, sir.
That's a good
I
plan.
think if you look under the short-term lease agreement, if you look under J, it says base rent $9 per month from October 2018 until June 2019, and then it says July 1st, 2018 until June 30th, 2020.
base rent will be $600 a month?
That's correct. That's if we choose to renew the lease.
Yeah, but it says July 1st, 2018.
Is that a misprint?
Well, Jason in our office has been working on this. I think this version has changed several times since it's been uploaded to, as a matter of fact, I talked to him right before he
Because
came over here. And
from
he
what
said
the
that-
chief is saying, this wouldn't start until next year, June of next year, of
July 1st.
July of 2019,
Right.
not 2018.
Yeah, I think that the original version, which is probably what you're looking at, that's a version that they pushed out to us in order to make, when we get to the finance committee. And like the attorney is saying, it's been modified and changed. There's also some other language in there, such as you can't eat in the store, you can't pass out flyers and handouts and stuff like that. All that's been deleted out of the contract we're working on now.
I would hope so.
Yes, sir. It's been modified significantly.
So what would you recommend, Will?
Well, I think, speaking to Jason before I came to the meeting today, I think he said that maybe even just today, the folks from the mall have agreed to all the changes that,
The one that seems to be most germane to our approval is this July 1 of 18 versus 19.
right, so my understanding is that's the way it's written now, is that it'll be $1 a month until July of next year. We do have inserted a clause in there that allows us to terminate or not
Right.
renew for any
Right.
reason. So again, if the board decides it doesn't want to do that,
Right.
on the other hand, if y'all say you don't want to agree to that term, you want them to change that monthly term or that amount, that's something, that's why we bring it to y'all, for y'all to discuss that.
But it comes down to the fact that it looks like it's a misprint to me, because we've already passed July 1 of
Right.
18.
That
was
date
my
is-
3 months ago.
That was
Right.
my point.
You know,
That
so
date's
if
a
it is a
misprint.
misprint, and we can just accept it as a misprint,
Yeah.
and if we do that, all of a sudden, it's virtually no payment until July 1st, and then the chief can then say it works or it doesn't work, or maybe, you know, some other, shopping area wants to give him a better deal, and he can walk away from it. So can we, I guess my question is, can we approve this today with the understanding that that is a misprint? and
Right.
it's July 1 of 19.
And when it goes to the Board of Commissioners, it'll be in its final form
Okay.
at that point,
Okay.
and it'll be changed, everything, and including the other changes. that-
Okay, could you
that
make
Chief-
sure that all happens? Great,
Yes.
okay.
I guess my concern would be that the mall still that busy during the holidays?
During the holidays. During the holidays it is. When
I
it's
mean-
not the holidays, it's kind of
And
not
keep
so
it-
much.
Keep in mind, that's gonna be an area where it's not just the mall. We're talking about Walmart, the shopping complexes across the street from the mall.
Hell, Walmart would probably give you a place in there just to pick up their shoplifters.
Those rented areas. And also, if I can, for a few minutes, historically, we've had some issues at the mall right around the shopping time and also in the spring. If you recall, when we had the carnival out on the mall property. For the last couple of years, we've had some issues with the carnival that took place out there. With some kids misbehaving. And we're hoping that.
Yeah, the last, it was a shooting, right?
Right.
Yes, sir. We're hoping that if we can get the officer on the property and more visible, that we can eliminate that.
I would hope that, and I know you will, but I would, try to make sure that they don't start using those police officers in place of the mall security out there.
That's absolutely
That would
correct.
be,
We're
that,
not
no.
gonna do that. No, so
Okay.
there's a process in place, as you well know, for the security, what they have to
Right.
call it, if they have security issues.
Right.
That will still take place.
Okay,
We do hope that we can attack the vehicle entries, the burglaries, and the thefts that take place in and around the mall area. And once again, I think with the guys that we want to put in that area, they have proved to be very significant, working in other areas around the county. And I think for the shopping season, upcoming shopping season, that they'll be very helpful.
well, I agree during the shopping season, but like I shared with you, what's gonna be interesting to see after the first of the year.
Right.
When there's not so much traffic in and out of the mall,
Right.
when it's only like a mile
Yeah.
to
And
the
that's-
public safety complex.
That's exactly
Why
right.
would an officer wanna go to the mall when they can go to the public safety complex?
And that's why, when I first started talking, we want to measure, we want to see what benefit is to the police department. If in fact, there is not a benefit, then that's certainly something we want to do.
Okay. Well, it's only $1 a month.
Yeah, good questions. Any further, Commissioner Booker? Motion?
Offer motion to accept the
Second.
All in favor?
lease agreement.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Glad you could
Okay,
make
we're
it.
on 23. Consider recommending Board of Commissioners approve the support agreement with Physio Control in the amount of $26,244 with funding to be provided by the FY19 Emergency Rescue Operating Fund. Yes, sir. Deputy Chief, how are you, sir? Good?
This is a yearly agreement with our cardiac monitors and AEDs. It's just time to renew. We've got it budgeted.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Very good.
Thank you.
24, consider recommended Board of Commissioners approve the support agreement with Stryker in the amount of $16,811.53 funding from the FY19 Emergency Rescue Operating Budget. Yes, sir, Deputy Chief.
And again, this is a service agreement with Stryker. They provide service to our stretchers and the load systems in the new squads. And it's just time to renew them.
How's that new loading system on the new squads working out?
It's working
Has
out.
it cut down on the workman's comp issues with backs?
It has.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
25, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners.
Sit. You'll be back up in a minute.
Yeah, I'm just going to
Oh, okay.
Consider recommending the Board of Commissioners award the contract for veterinary services and DEA licensing to Rich Veterinary Services LLC in the amount of not to exceed $71,000, funding from FY19 Animal Control Operating Budget. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hill, how are you? Questions?
Nope.
Concerns?
Nope. They'll be there 16 hours a day, I think, is what it
on
said.
Thursdays and Fridays, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what day?
He comes on Thursdays and Fridays.
Thursdays and Fridays.
And didn't he start relatively recently?
He did. He started August 2nd.
And how are things worked out so far?
Fantastic.
I like that.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Motion?
For motion.
Second.
Very good. All in favor? Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Great. Good news. 26, consider recommending the Board of Commissioners approve the issuance of a purchase order utilizing HGAC buy contract to Fraser Limited of Houston, Texas for $244,777.31 to purchase a Fraser ambulance with funding provided by FY19 Capital Projects Fund Balance. Deputy Chief.
Yes, sir. This is the ambulances that we've currently been buying that we can remount. And these ambulances, we've had no issues out of these ambulances. They have a unique AC unit in the back. They're the only ambulance provider that we've had no problems with their air conditioning.
Oh,
It
yeah.
can actually cool down
Huh.
for the patients in the back.
Huh. How many Fraser ambulances do we have?
We have a total of 5.
Right? Huh.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. And that does it, unless there's anything else. Is there anything, 27 should be included as consent items? Any thoughts?
I'm good.
Motion to adjourn?
Yep. Motion to adjourn.
Very good. Thank you very much.